Yeah, 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 yeah. Microphone check 1 2 1 2. It's that BYQ crew coming through with something new up the avenue. And you looking at me, but who they mad at you? No, they ain't mad at you. They supposed to be. We out here living in the IE. Episode cozy, you don't see. Yet I beat everywhere and I beat Birkin. I mean, I just skipped the track, but you already know that the shit never black. But I just go ahead and flip right back. If you really don't know, I'm making asthma attack. If you can't breathe, if you don't like us, then it's time to leave. If you already know, stick up the lead. I'ma make sure that you come and believe that we got us something maybe a little new. I'm about to tell you this that third degree crew. That I'm skipping up my words because I'm trying not to curse, but I'm trying to get the verse and I just might disperse a lyrical bullet or two. Like I said, it's the D crew. We got Quest about to get some dirty dollars, and Jessica's right here about to go and make holler. And I don't know where everybody else is at, but we right here about to give you the show on the map. And if you don't even realize, we're about to go and get it started. Just sit back and watch live. Yeah. It's hard when you're trying not to curse. I'm trying not to get demonetized. You know what I'm saying? Man, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm blessed, brother. I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? We had a snow day out here in Atlanta. You know, California's on fire. Atlanta snowed in.
Right.
I was Armageddon going on. You know,
somebody say snow bunnies?
Listen to this dude.
Already.
I give it the best time. We talk about snow bunnies. All right.
Man.
Let's go. Or we talking about the Lindsay Lohan.
Nah. We talk about some just regular snow, man. You know what I'm saying? Shut the city down, you know. How you doing, Melvin?
Good. How was your birthday, Quez?
Oh man, it was a beautiful thing, man. You know, I'm too old to do anything too live, so I just, you know, spent it with the fam, had a good time, man.
Man, you're truly blessed, my friend. You're truly blessed. That's all that matters. Best time is spending with family. That's all that matters.
That's
Absolutely.
True. Man, I like that Dodger hat, man. I like that Dodger hat.
Got my Dodger shirt.
Make me want to go grab my Dodger hat and shirt, man. I didn't know we was rapping like that today.
You know, always. My curb, I painted my curb and it has the Lakers, Dodgers, and my gay ass Cowboys that always fuck me over.
Man, I know the frustration. I'm a Raider fan, so you know.
Fucking hate the Cowboys. I hate Jerry Jones. I love the Cowboys, but I hate Jerry Jones.
Yeah, I think you guys would be all right after he get up out of there.
Yeah.
Then maybe y'all can have some real management. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
that's what's killing y'all.
You don't want to wish death on anybody, but like he's up there with like, you know, Trayvon Martin's killer, you know?
Damn.
Wow.
That's how much of a disappointment that motherfucker is to me.
Yeah, I don't want him to die. Just, slight incapacitation.
Yeah,
That'll
I
work
don't
for
want him to
y'all.
die. Maybe fall hard, but not die, but fall.
All righty.
If you guys are watching, make sure you guys are hitting the like and the share button. Share this onto your feed. Shout out to the YouTube family who keeps those numbers steady popping all the time. Shout out to the YouTube subscribers. If you're on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. You know what I'm saying? So every time that we come live, you'll be the first to know.
And leave a comment. Leave a comment down there, man. Let us know you tapped in with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tap in. We had an unruly guest or commenter, contributor, but yeah, I talk my stuff in fun. If you don't know me, I trash talk. So
who was the ruly one?
Third was cool till he let the Puerto Rican get on there saying the N word. Like,
was that bastard Gary? Damn. I remember you, Gary. Fuck you, Gary. I hope you're watching.
Well, damn, I didn't say all that, but I did.
Gary, we want you to watch the show and keep leaving comments that make Third.
I hope Gary's home was one of the ones that got burned down in L.A. I hope.
Damn.
I hope he's evacuated right now.
Man, hey, don't we got some ratchet news or something? Shit.
That was ratchet as shit.
yeah, we ain't getting no money for this show. It's over.
Like you like to say, class, we up out of there.
We are up out of here, bro.
Well, let's get to some ratchet shit. We already started off ratchet, but let's go.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Third Degree. Let's get into some ratchet news. Well, some of it's ratchet, some may not be, but let's still get into it. Well, as you all know, there are wildfires going on in California, particularly LA, and it's burned down the Palisades, Altadena, even parts of like the Hollywood sign, like even there Runyon Canyon. So, for those who have reached out, I appreciate you. Where I'm at, I'm a little bit outside of LA, but where I'm at, though, coincidentally, we've been known to have a fire or two or three, you know what I mean? So I can't necessarily, I can say whereas right now I'm safe, but with the winds and people, intentionally starting fires, we just never know. But as of right now, I'm good. But pray for those who are not. I've known people who have personally lost homes and family members. It's sad. So just continue to pray for LA, pray for California. But speaking of which, real quick, 30%, this is a quote, 30% of LA fires are being fought by inmates at 16 cents per hour. I think it's a little bit more than that. But the point is, the prisoners who were out there risking their lives need time knocked off their sentences. I definitely agree with Chris Brown. And he also stated that, firefighters deserve a big parade and stuff throughout LA for risking their lives trying to save people. So I definitely in agreement with Chris Brown on that. So let's get into some ratchetness. Donald Trump plans to rename Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. That's crazy because I think there's something else that he should rename himself, and that is convicted felon President Donald Trump. I mean, Donald Trump has been sentenced to unconditional discharge, whatever that is, for 34 counts of falsifying business records. So he didn't get off. His privilege didn't get him off, but it did at the same time because he now becomes the first president to ever be a convicted felon. Crazy, right? But he avoids prison despite felony convictions. So I guess, hey, this complexion for protection, I gotta get in on this white rich thing. You know what I'm saying? I gotta get in on it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I might cash in on my 22%, European. But moving on. Kim Jong-un bans hot dogs in North Korea. Why? I don't know. I think they're too American for him. Whatever. Moving on. Skip Bayless is accused of offering $1.5 million for X. I mean, for love making, I guess you can say. It's crazy. $1.5 million? You know what I mean? Don't he know that he can go to some places for $40? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I believe this story, but we shall see. Also, it's been alleged that lawsuit alleges Joy Taylor leveraged lovemaking to advance her career and allegedly threatened to accuse network and executive of essaying when he was no longer useful to her. Additionally, she's accused of dismissing sexual harassment claims made by former stylists, telling her to, quote unquote, get over it. She's bad. I don't know if she would necessarily need to, but hey, it's Hollywood, so you can't put anything past anybody. But moving on. Hey, just know if somebody sends this picture to you, that it means that they're willing to pay anything just to be with you. Moving on. Young Noble of the Outlaws calls out Nas over alleged Tupac lies in a fiery diss track, Euthanasia. I got mad love for Noble, but I think it's like 30 years too late, and it sounds dated and sounds like why. Moving on. There's a study out there saying that black women are the most educated demographic in America. Correct. So it's no excuse for these small pockets of them out there doing dumb ish out there. Come on now, rise up to your true potential standards. Same for you dudes too. Moving on. It is rumored that Marvel Studios will recast T'Challa for new Avengers films and Black Panther 3. I think they needed to do it, the last go around, but hey, it still was a good movie. But we shall see. Moving. You black mother. A racist landlord headed to prison for stealing the identities of black tenants to obtain COVID relief benefits, then evicting them. Good. I hope he sits with Donald. Well, Donald's not going. But moving on. Brandy is ready to tell her story in a new memoir. I wonder if she's going to keep it real, all the way real, or is she going to keep it fluffy? We'll see. Hope she talks about some things, but I will be tuning in. Moving on. This black couple opened the first black-owned shopping center in their city. It's called Kingdom Corners. So Google it. I don't know where the city is, but Google it and make sure you go support them. Moving on. U.S. to refund $55 million after court blocks Biden's immigration program. Jeez. Moving on. Rap Battle Blitz. Remy Ma professes her love for Easy to Block captain after public papoose tussle fussle. She's mad trash for this and he's mad corny. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ram, come on, man. But anyway, moving on. Shanisha and Ruby Rose both claim that they've never had a whole face what's fun after being ran through, quote unquote. Hey, I feel you. Moving on. Apple to drop Sony and partner with Samsung for the iPhone 18s's camera. About time. See, even Apple is admitting that their camera is trash compared to Samsung. So, go Team Droid. Moving on. Jim Jones reignites beef with Cameron, 50 Cent, and Mace. If all three of them teamed up to go at Jim, nasty. Because all three of them can spit. Can really, really spit. Maybe better than Jim, but hey, that's me. Moving on. Dave Chappelle to host SNL with musical guest Glorilla, January 18th. I'll be tuning in. Two of my favorite people. Moving on. Mark Zuckerberg says Biden administration pressured his team to censor posts, so he's getting rid of his DEI program. Seems like everybody's getting rid of DEI programs, right? Since Biden's leaving, heck, they feel like we don't have to be sensitive to you, niggas. Moving on. Well, speaking of Biden, President Joe Biden will deliver his farewell address to the nation on Wednesday. I mean, I guess he has some good moments as far as keeping up with some of the things that he said and he's done, hiring the first black female president, vice president, putting women of color in his cabinet and administration. So, but there's been some things where he slacked on, like high prices for food and art. I mean, it's crazy. So, I only voted for him because I wasn't voting for Trump. So, hey, man, salute, peace. Well, I'm Third Degree, and that's been your Ratchet News. Peace. The funk. What you got to say, Quiz? I see you shaking your
hands
head.
Hands up, don't shoot. You know what I'm saying? I don't got nothing to say, man. I don't got nothing. Yeah, Ratchet News, baby. Gotta love it. But man, what's up? What was that? Malcolm forehead on the screen?
Yeah, and he put a damn Santa. We have the black Santa. So
there you go. For us 80%ers, you know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it.
No offense.
They're ready to cash out on us. You know what I'm saying?
No offense, Third. Is your name Third because that's how much blackness you're missing?
Third. Woo,
I did the math and I was like, hey, that's why he's a third.
He's the same color as wheat bread. I'm just
Hey, I identify as one shade lighter than Quez. That is how I identify.
Hell no.
I identify as Chinese. So.
Oh man. Nah, it was some good stuff in that Ratchet News though. Skip, I don't know about 1.5, bro. It ain't never
Skip.
found that.
I think
Hey,
that's
Skip.
all a lie. That's all a lie.
Yeah.
All
Like,
right, 1.5 million ain't no booty out here worth no 1.5 million.
you know how many Instagram models you can get for
All right,
100K?
and let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it
Low,
all the way a buck.
low.
Let's keep it all the way a buck. This is Skip Bayless. He on TV. Like I've told you before on this very show, you can be a Z-list celebrity rapper and pull some, some gold diggers or some breezies because they think that you have potential or they want to be near whatever it is. It's a Skip Bayless. I'm pretty sure he has women throwing
But
poontang
it looks
at
like
him.
Bellator.
You were right. There's no
Like
doubt
a
about
bag of
that.
skin. He looks like a bag of skin holding
Bro,
bones up.
there's no we're not debating his looks. We're not debating his looks, but we all know that money can make the ugliest motherfucker look attractive to some of these females. You know what I mean?
True.
So
The Island
You
Boys.
want to know how I know this is the lie? Because she didn't take the money.
Facts.
You
And
sound
waited a
dumb.
long time
You
to
sound
file it.
retarded telling us that somebody offered you 1.5 for some coochie, and you turned it down, and you a stylist.
Man. For 1.5, I'm giving up the booty. That's it. I'm giving up 1.5.
Hey man, I'm just saying.
That's it. But
I'm just saying, if Whoopi Goldberg offered me 1.5 to hit, I'm hitting.
I'm knocking the locks out of it. I'm knocking the locks out.
Man. And I'm gonna line up her fade when I'm done. I'm gonna make sure I get you right. You know what I'm saying? On the way out.
Like anything else, Miss Seeley? Anything else, Miss
Right.
Seeley?
I brought the clippers and everything. Don't trip.
you do right by me?
Hey,
Crooked finger and everything.
You got it.
She gonna be
all
calling you
jokes aside, though, yeah, it's hard to believe that one.
I don't believe
that's
that
a
one.
lot of money.
Now I'm gonna play advocate real quick. Do you believe Joy Taylor was sleeping her way up to advance?
No, I don't think she was sleeping her way up to.
I don't think that's why she got to the top. It was probably she probably didn't have to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Because she kept them things on camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you watch the show, not to be denigrated, but she never really had a lot to say. She was more like a segue piece. You know what I mean? Moving it from topic to topic. Did a few people hit? I would imagine so.
I don't think she had to sleep her way up to the top. Like if you're a very attractive woman, and as a commentator, that's what sports need a lot of times. And she is very skilled. Like, not gonna lie, she when she does have something to say, it's not retarded. It's actually a good point, making a good point, and it's cool to have her on the show. So it's not. I don't think she slept her way up to the top. But what was the other thing on there that you had? Oh, about the food prices for Biden. Presidents don't control that shit. You saw Trump say that when they asked his ass, "Are you going to lower the prices of food?" Oh, well, that's very hard. That's very tricky. I don't. So you can't put that on Biden and then not hold fucking Mr. Orange Cheeto to the fire too.
I did that on purpose.
To trigger motherfuckers like me.
Apparently, you know what I'm saying?
Because I like the facts. I like the facts. Like, is Sleepy Joe the best president? Hell
no.
Hell no. But did he do a lot? Did he accomplish a lot? Does he have integrity? Yes. I think so.
Hey, the one thing the one thing I'm gonna give him, and this is like no joke aside, they put his feet to the fire. You need to hire a black female for vice president. He did that. He had black women on his staff, women of color. He was doing everything. You know what I'm saying? Supreme Court, he was doing that.
Most black judges.
And most black judges, he went against the grain. He went against the grain because it was unpopular to do, and he said he was going to do it, and he did it. So I give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things I give him credit for.
Yeah, no. I said, he's not the best, but he by far isn't the worst. And
well,
now
we know who the worst is.
Yeah, and it's not us. It's not our opinions. Historians say he's
this
the
is
worst.
fact because ain't no other president got convicted of a felony. You know what I mean?
Well,
like, yeah, I mean,
it's funny that the people that voted for him always say we want to lower the national debt, but Trump's responsible for 25% of the national debt. So you mean 46 other people, and he's responsible for 1/4 of it. So it don't make no sense. So
I had somebody today, y'all put up a post saying, you know, it was funny how George W. Bush curved him, you know what I'm saying? Jimmy Carter's funeral. He said Obama, he said, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? And he walked past Trump.
You see, Michelle didn't even want to come. She's like, I ain't even gonna sit.
Somebody commented and said, oh, poor Trump. I'm like, ain't nothing poor about that dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
No, it's crazy because he's sitting with all the people. He said Bush was an idiot. He said Clinton tried to have him murdered. He wanted to put Hillary in jail. Obama was a terrorist. He was cheating on his wife with a porn star. He said Jimmy Carter was weak and dumb. And I'm like, and then Kamala Harris ain't black. So I'm like, you talk shit on everybody in that room and then have the nerve to step in there and be like, oh, I feel awkward. Nah, get the fuck out of here. You know what you did.
Beach. Anyway, okay, moving on.
It's 2025, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's over.
Beach.
You guys will be strong. You got a long ways to go, man.
Oh, we got a long time.
Yes, I think I got one more. Beach. All right.
You will be strong. Shouts out to the black women. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that, you know.
You have.
People thought I was lying. Not y'all. I'm just saying people in general. You know what I mean? I've been saying, I know because you're one of them. You know what I'm saying? It's you better advocate for yourself, damn it. You know what I'm saying? but that's been a long running stat for quite a few years now. So, you know, I find it highly offensive when, you know, other individuals try to say that we're low IQ or, you know what I'm saying? We're not smart enough to be doing some odd things when the proof is in the pudding. So, shouts out to y'all, black women. Appreciate y'all. Stand on business.
Salute.
All right, what we got up first, man? Where we going?
You got to do something first, Quez.
You got a word for the day?
I got another one. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
I got two. I think I got two.
Let's hear both of them. Let's go.
So the first one, you know, shout out to my aunt Deborah Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Like, she actually posted a meme. And it was something that I was thinking about doing. Actually, I had it in my head, and I was thinking of how to say it. But you know, she put it so eloquently. You know what I'm saying? Like, pour into those who pour into you. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times people waste time. Well, who's not supporting? Who's not doing what? This person, whatever. Nah, you know what? If they're not supporting you, if they're not liking you, if they got something to say, that's fine. Let them be them from a distance. But the ones who are surrounding you and they're calling you, they're checking up on you, they're supporting you, they're resharing links, you know what I'm saying? They're coming on shows, you know what I'm saying? They're talking about the show, or they're helping you out with your business, whether it's travel, whether it's help me out. Notary, fingerprint notary, you know what I'm saying? Live scanning, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's hair, whether it's donating to nonprofits like, you know, to the North County shelter, right? Food shelter, food pantry.
North County.
You know what I'm saying? Like, support those and pour into those who pour into you, because again, they're taking the time out to genuinely do it. You're not asking them, you're not begging them. They're doing it willingly, and they're doing it because they got quote unquote love for you. So you do, and you reciprocate and give that love right back to them. You pour into them. You keep that tight knit as a circle in the community, and you support and you network amongst each other, and you bring in those who share the same values. Don't worry about those who ain't doing it for you.
Be careful though what you pour into, because last time I pour into my son, that's how he was created, and so just be careful what you pour into. That's
this dude here. always been a joke. Like, the second thing I got for y'all is mindset. And I know Quez is going to appreciate this one. Mindset. because I think a lot of people are walking into 2025 with a poor Knigas mindset. You know what I'm saying? Like they keep a mentality mindset. It's all about what you make it. If you think that you're broke, then that's what you're going to be. If you think that you're ugly, then that's what you're going to. Well, some motherfuckers is ugly, but if you think that's what you are, then that's what you are. You know what I'm saying? If you have that mindset,
shout out to Sonny. Shout out to Sonny.
If you keep that mindset, then that's what it's going to be. And I think a lot of people have a ghetto broke mentality because they subject themselves to, oh, well, I'm going to be the realest. I'm going to be the brokest. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Just because if you live in the ghetto or the hood does not mean that you have to be ghetto or a hood. You can have a nice house and plush it out and still live, comfortably. You don't have to live a simple lifestyle simply because of your mentality. So it's all about what you pour into yourself as well. You have to pour in positive words. You have to pour in positive affirmations. You have to sit up there and speak positivity and life around your life. And don't watch yourself with a negative tongue, because whatever you say is negative will kill you. It's negativity equates to death. So make sure that you pour into those who are pouring into you. Pour into yourself. Love yourself first. And also change your mindset going into 2025. If you have a business, then walk in knowing that, hey, I'm going to have a successful business. I'm going to have a successful marriage. I'm going to have a successful life. I'm going to have a successful household. I'm going to have successful kids. Start speaking positivity into your life. Change your mindset.
On that note, I have to go take my son to a San Diego Clippers game. So I'll see you guys a little later.
Hey, man.
Didn't I just say speak positivity? You want to show them what losers look like?
Nah, this is positivity. I'm positively reinforcing positive love into my son.
No, you're doing that, but you're doing bad fundamentals by showing them, equating that to a basketball team. I mean, the Clippers are not a basketball team.
You gotta start somewhere. The seats are like $40, so he don't know the difference right now, right?
Right. Well, in some places,
there's no difference between the San Diego Clippers and the LA Clippers. Let me tell you,
they both equate trash. They both equate trash.
Suck. I got my LeBron James on right now. I got my LeBrons on. So,
oh man, your feet might fatigue.
Year 20.
Where's your Kobe's?
I don't wear Kobe's. I wear LeBrons.
Your toenails might recede.
Yeah.
Your hairline might recede too. You know what I'm saying? May not show up in the fourth quarter. Let me stop.
You leave the greatest basketball player who ever lived alone.
Oh no!
Nobody said nothing about Michael Jordan. Nobody said anything about him.
Anybody say nothing about Magic Johnson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan.
Kobe is not better than
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Kobe is not better. Kareem is. I have to say. Kareem is the greatest basketball player.
Kobe got 5 championships, son.
It's
LeBron
a team
has
sport.
4.
It's a team sport.
He has 5.
Come on now.
He has 3 with Shaq, 2 without Shaq.
That's 5. Like saying the people in the Olympics on the 4 relay. Oh, well, you lost. Nigga, I had other teammates that sucked.
Hey, hold up. Holy moly donut shop.
And y'all all lost.
Holy moly donut shop.
Don't take away from your greatness.
So it is a team sport, right? So how come LeBron had to team up with 15,000 superstars and still only got 4 rings?
Okay, so
that part.
So
boy,
let's think about it. Let's think about it.
Man.
Let's think about
it.
Shaquille O'Neal, the greatest, most dominant center of all time.
Agreed. You finally said something smart.
He got 3 rings and 3 MVPs when he was on the team with Kobe. So why didn't Kobe get those MVPs?
Because he was helping Shaq.
No, that Kobe should have got those MVPs, but Shaq was averaging 32 points, 15 rebounds in the finals. Facts. Look at Michael Jordan, Steve Kerr, the greatest. He has the highest field goal percentage on threes ever. Dennis Rodman, top 5 greatest rebounder of all time. Pippen, one of the greatest forwards of all time. And you got to go Phil Jackson, the greatest coach of all time. Michael wasn't winning without any of those. Who was coaching LeBron? Ty Lue? The nigga that got crossed up over and stepped on by Iverson? Hell no. Get the hell out of here.
You got a point there.
Leave Tyronn Lue alone.
Hey man.
But we want to talk schematics though. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for the game,
they don't write none of that shit in the stats. They don't write none of that in the stats.
Nope.
They write win or lose. We don't care why.
Hey, well then if that's the case, Kobe has 5 rings, Jordan got 6, Kareem got 6?
5. Yeah,
Russell
11. Bill Russell got 11. Then,
my fault. Yeah, Bill Russell got 11. Correct
10
me.
Straight.
You know what I'm saying?
So then what are we talking about? Are we talking about rings? Because then Jordan don't win. Are we talking about what are we talking about? Points?
We were just simply saying that all these people were better than LeBron. That's all we were trying to say.
Yeah, I know. Y'all just simply wrong.
Well, we not. You know what I'm saying?
Holy moly donut shop.
I know.
Enjoy your game with your son, man.
I know. Old 3rd% ain't talking. Missing a third. He's missing a third, and he's angry at everybody.
Yeah, his favorite food is guacamole.
You damn right. I'm Count Molila. I'll see you guys later. You guys have a good one.
All right, man.
Bye.
Y'all retarded, man.
Man, where the people at, man? I don't have to go to the meeting tonight. Y'all got me for a good 1.59 hours.
Man, let's get it. Let's get it. I thought you did say that. That's why I was like keeping it light. I didn't know if you had to leave early. So
no, I don't have to leave. I am here today. If I would, when you see me in my stoop, then I got to go. But I'm here. You know, I'm in the third apparel you can get from king3rd.com. You know what I'm saying? Drop your 3cent.com. You know, so and I'm sipping on my apple juice.
Right there you go. That's the clear cut sign right there. Have that cup. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen the cup yet.
This ain't no tea. This is Hennessy. Actually.
Hey, let's get after it.
All right,
man.
So I got the link in the comment section on Facebook. If you want to come on and become a guest, we were hesitant about letting guests on. I'm gonna go ahead and let people on if you guys want to come on. I don't know if we're gonna get any guests today, but we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have an open conversation because last week got heated. But I gotta say this: I am the man with the microphone. I am the host. So therefore, if I say chill, that's exactly what the hell you do. You chill what we call the funk out. You got to respect the mic. So, you know what I'm saying? Either I'm going to mute you, and if you get too unruly, then I'm just going to put you backstage, and we have to calm it down because, for one thing, you know, Tish brought up a valid point. You know, I did not know what an FBA was, and I'm trying to get educated. And at the same time, I want to argue valid points that I had, but we couldn't really hear anything because we have people who are disrupting and being, you know, and that's another thing too. You can agree to disagree, but let's not be disrespectful. Let's not do personal insults. Let's not talk about people's mamas. Let's not talk about pulling up, doing all that. Why are we doing this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, we can agree to disagree. You can have opposing views and still be cool. We can still kumbaya. It can get heated. We can have heated debates and heated talk, but none of this pulling up and none of that shit's corny, yo. Leave that shit back in 2024. Leave that shit with the MAGA people. Leave that shit with the old ratchets. Leave all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We grown folks over here. We have intelligent, insightful conversations. And this is what this whole platform is supposed to be. So, but at the end of the day, too, though, but if you disrespect me, you got to go. Period, point blank.
To the gulag. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
To the gulag.
Shout out to the setter. You know what I'm saying? We had Angie who hopped on, and I think she was shocked to see what was going on. We had, you know what I'm saying? Again, we know it's going to get heated, very much so, but you can still agree to disagree respectfully.
That's it.
But, you know, but if you guys are going to come on, you know, we got the link in the comment section. Make sure that if you're using your phone, you got to use your headphones. Your headphones will work as a microphone. That microphone will pick up everything that you say, and your camera will pick up everything that you do. With that being said, if you're coming on, you got to use your camera. You know, make sure you're in a nice, quiet spot. There's not too much stuff going on. You're not shopping. You're not eating. You're not, you know, sitting on toilets. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever we clip up will get projected out to the world. There's 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. Got 5,000 on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? 5,000 more on Quez's Facebook. You know what I'm saying? We out there. We outside. So, you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, whatever we clip up, you can get seen amongst maybe potentially 4.9 million people. So you don't want to be out there looking ratchet, ignorant, and stupid.
Facts. All facts. And we were definitely attacking you, Melvin, specifically.
I'm sorry, let's say it was giving you a headache. It was giving me one too. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, one thing I learned though on this very show, we've had people who were getting really, really heated. And then once they took a step back to kind of, and we had some party on this show too instigating it. But once they took a step back and they're like, oh, okay, well, they squashed it right here on air. You know what I'm saying? Which is what I like to see and do. Because again, we're not perfect. We're imperfect. And so I want to show the good, bad, and the ugly. I want to show that, hey, things can get heated, but then we can sit up there and we can also, you know, make good and, you know, make up.
Facts. Gotta love it.
Word.
Real human emotions, man.
It gets
let's try to contain ourselves like adults.
Word. So with all that being said, let's get into some promo. But we are going to continue on. I only had one topic for today. I thought that I was going to have a meeting, but the meeting got canceled. So you guys got me today. We were continuing on because this is definitely an interesting topic because it's talking about lineage. It's talking about creativity. It's talking about culture. It's talking about us so we can have an open conversation amongst us and analyze and realize who we are. So, you know, last week we had a discussion, you know, Fat Joe stirred up some controversy with some remarks that he made. I will show the clip again. We had some folks on here who were on the side of the FBA, the fundamentally Black Americans, right? Foundational Black Americans.
Foundational Black Americans, yes, sir.
Excuse me, I did not mean to butcher.
No, you good. You good, brother.
What? I'm just saying, you know, I'll funk up a word in a minute. You know, say we have word. We have some folks from Puerto Rico who are weighing in. You know what I'm saying? We have folks who are half Black, half Asian weighing in. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, things got a little, you know, but at the end of the day, too, you know what I mean? I learned some things. It was still a good conversation to be had, even though it just got crazy from time to time and people over talking your boy Third. It's not cool. If I'm you over talking me and I got the mic, then there's a fucking problem. But
hey, to the gulag they go, man.
Word to Big Bird. So, but with that said, let's get into a little promo, and we will start the show.
Yeah.
You're wasting time.
Yes, that's me, Third Degree. You can find me on Spotify, KingThird.com, Apple Music, Amazon Music. I'm everywhere. Type in 3R Degree. There's only one D because there's only one me. So yeah, you can also put my music with your Facebook stories and Instagram stories. So you know, well, shout out to TikTok. Jeez.
The 19.
Oh man, Tony, I'm a little pissed off about that one. TikTok was I had people from Africa, you know, Russia, China, bumping your boy Third, and they then gave me like over like what 100,000 some units sold off of TikTok. They just hating.
Hey man, too many Black people getting money. You know what I'm saying?
Damn Black.
Yeah, right. Okay, y'all starting to get too much money off of TikTok, man. We gotta shut this down.
Word.
I'm gonna be winning like that.
We can't tax you either, you know what I mean? So that's what that's about. They can't tax it, so yeah, they gotta ax it. You know what I mean? Like, well, that's a whole nother topic. But so last week we dropped a video with Fat Joe because it's been a whole ongoing discussion between Fat Joe, Lord Jamar about who started hip hop. And you know, there's been said that you know Blacks created hip hop. But Fat Joe came in and said, no, Puerto Ricans contributed 50-50 to hip-hop, and that stirred up a debate. But he also attacked the FBA, too, at the same time. So here's a clip.
Let's start by this. These rumors were made by radical Black racists. Let's just say that. Okay, it's a group of these guys that don't want to hear Jamaican, don't want to hear Guyanese, they don't want to hear a black guy that ain't down with them.
Right.
Right? So their job is to criticize anybody who don't look like them or who ain't black American.
Who are these guys?
You want me to say a name? We're going to give them too much clout.
I mean,
the FBA, Foundational Black Authority, whoever the these broke niggas is. I'm just keeping it a buck. And their shit is to attack everybody on Twitter. You see this nigga who run them? Like, your leader? Yo, man, you got to be kidding me, man. And so they trying to change the narrative. They're not from New York.
Right.
So they telling the whole
Yeah, that was Fat Joe. So, I don't think you really got to say much, Quez and Jess. You know what I'm saying? So,
you think?
Last week, yeah, I kind of know. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about some of the things that Fat Joe said?
Yeah, I think it's highly disingenuous. You know what I mean? To me, that's my viewpoint. I felt it was highly disingenuous. Great thing about being in the 21st century is we have the internet. We have access to a wealth of information. A lot of this stuff that people are debating are debating based off of sad to say, TikTok and Instagram narratives, right? You can easily look this stuff up. It's very simple to find. People don't like to research. They like to pick a side and stand over there. And that's cool if that's what you do. But, you should be prepared when you run into individuals with actual facts and be emotionally intelligent enough to take that information without letting it bruise your ego. And I think that's what happened with our brother Fat Joe, because, you see he stepped down from hosting the BET Hip Hop Awards and all of that already.
Really?
Yeah, that's what,
That's news to me.
Yeah, pretty recent.
Now, I don't understand why he would, truthfully. Now I'm going to let you get off, Jess. Because at the end of the day, I know Fat Joe is Puerto Rican. He's from the Bronx. You know what I'm saying? Now there's a healthy debate whether he's better than Big Pun. So I think Big Pun was the better rapper. Like Big Pun could spit his ass off. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Fat Joe is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And I love what he represents. I don't agree with everything that he has said, but I don't think that he should step down. He's contributed a healthy amount to hip hop himself. Not necessarily there for the creation, but he himself has contributed by giving us the Fat Joe, not the Fat Joes, but Fat Joe, but the Big Pun and the Remy Ma's, you know what I'm saying? And he's created some real good music, you know what I'm saying? Or a few singles that I actually rock with. So I don't think that, he should be excluded, you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand why he would step down, you know what I mean, personally. But go ahead, Jess. You got anything to add?
Yeah, just a little bit.
So why do I feel like it's a lot of it?
I'm little, so it's a little bit. So this is how I feel. Like you said, I don't understand why he's excluding himself, like stepping down from the awards, you know what I mean? Because he did contribute. To say that they contributed 50% in the beginning, I don't know. I can't, I wasn't even born then, but hey, I feel like we did majority of the work in all music, it came from us. So my thing is like, okay, who's keeping real hip hop alive now? Yes, I would say probably them. You know what I mean? But to say that they brought it up to what it is right now, no. I can't co-sign to that.
My FBA sister. Go ahead.
I mean, like, truthfully, I mean, again, like, and this is why I wish that, because, Still, or I call him Still, but Jason or Navaja was on here last week. He's from the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? So he's been around it to see. But, I know some other Puerto Ricans who have actually come out and said, like, no. Hip hop was created by blacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, we adapted to the culture, you know what I'm saying? We brought into the culture, but let's not mistake it as created by blacks. And so I think I actually might have a clip of somebody saying that, you know what I'm saying? Right here.
Puerto Ricans didn't start hip hop at all. My African American brothers created hip hop, whether it was Africa Bambaataa, DJ Kool Herc, or Red Alert, or let's go back to Grandmaster Theodore. That's my boy. I was just out here with Theodore, like, how long ago? 5 months ago, Grandmaster Theodore.
What about the culture? How hard was it for you to get into the culture?
It was, well, I could say one thing. It wasn't fashionable being a Jamaican at one point. It wasn't.
Right.
And I never hid my culture. Really, I never did. Well, I was getting Americanized, though.
And if it's true, which I feel, the FBA is right. It's black culture. Hip-hop was created by black Americans. Fundamental black Americans. Got no problem with that. I got an African side. I love that. But, you know what I'm saying? I know the struggle. Why can't they have that?
That's a good point. They're trying to take away everything from us. Everything. And like I said, music came from us. Country music came from us.
Oh, Cheryl, you brought up a valid point. I'm gonna let you get out, Quest, because to be truthful, hip hop, the father, the godfather, grandfather, father, of hip hop, hands down, my personal opinion is James Brown, because whether it's Kool Herc, whether it's this cat, what they was doing was taking James Brown records and taking the little breaks, and then they were sitting up there and looping those breaks, to create the party atmosphere. So even early records, James Brown was up there spitting, like saying rhymes and stuff to a beat, you know what I'm saying? So technically, James Brown's music, funk music, birthed hip hop, which came from a black dude who was born in Augusta, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? But Kool Herc, I'm gonna give him credit where credit's due. You know what I'm saying? He took James Brown records, played them at a party, and he brought them out to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? But to sit up there and to negate the fact that there were no Puerto Ricans around during the time, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of wild, because even Grandmaster Cass, I think his DJ was Puerto Rican. So but to sit up there and to say 50-50, I think that's kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it was created by African Americans, you know what I'm saying? And it was, brought out to the world, you know what I mean? But definitely.
And therein lies the problem, because words matter, sir. Words matter, third, and so do stories, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Hitler said it himself. If you tell a lie long enough and consistent enough, people will start to believe it. And the problem now is the FBA culture is trying to safeguard and keep things that are brought to this continent and the culture in its rightful balance. I think we've given up enough, right? To be honest. And to be thrown off by it. Nobody said Puerto Ricans weren't there. I don't think that was ever the argument. People took it to be that argument. Nobody said you weren't there. People were just saying you didn't create it. And I don't see what's the harm in that. If you didn't create it, you just didn't create it, right? We didn't say you weren't there. Y'all probably was on the block, you know what I'm saying, turning up, because that's what our culture is. We share everything with everybody, and we always have, you know what I'm saying? but that's a two-edged sword because we were always so willing to give and so willing to be inclusive, and then when the payments go out or when the benefits come out, we left holding an empty bag, and I think people are tired of that. So now it's time to start safeguarding and telling the truth, because just like our sister Beyonce, we created country music, and now we're watching country music tell her she's not country enough, which is absurd to me.
Right.
And other people,
it really
like
is.
and all those other individuals who are black and want to elevate country music. We tired of hearing about your dog in your truck. You know what I'm saying? If we want to listen to some country music, let's make it some fly shit. That's just what we do. We always make fly shit. And we always have, we always will. Y'all just gonna have to get over it. Period.
That part.
And the oldest hip hop song, just real quick fun fact, that I was able to trace where people were actually sounding like they were rapping was the Jubilaries with their Story of Noah. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all can look that up online and you can hear your first version of hip hop, it's 1946.
Right.
But it's very true that people were sampling those beats and those, you know what I'm saying, rhythmic chords, you know what I'm saying, to create the new hip hop.
Well, let's keep it a buck. So me and Quez, we're choir brothers. You know what I'm saying? We're in choir together. We had a teacher, shout out to Mr. Bridgewater, who was
Shot-town.
You know what I'm saying? Now he was from Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah, I knew he was somewhere in Midwest.
Somewhere in the Midwest, yeah. But but he was a very skilled brother. As a matter of fact, he's played with the greats of like Marvin Gaye, even Quincy Jones, you know what I'm saying? And this was our musical teacher, but I remember him one day sitting us down, and mind you, we were in the boys' choir, you know what I'm saying? And he was like that centralized like father figure, always dropping dimes, speaking positivity into us. But he sat us down one day because again, we would go into his choir room during lunchtime, work on hip hop music, writing songs and all this other stuff. But he sat us down as a choir and he asked, "So where did hip hop originate from?" And me, with my proud ass, I'm like, "New York, the Bronx." And he said, "No." Somebody else said something else. He's like, "No, where hip hop originated from, to be honest with you, was Africa." And we were like, "Africa? You weren't rapping in Africa?" And he said, "Well, the first people who are actually speaking or speaking words to a rhythm, or even like in a cadence type of way, were grits, because they're part entertainer, but at the same time they were the ones who kept the oral history of the tribes in Africa. So these were the first people who were actually bringing that flavor, and then we brought that over, just like we brought over yams, rice, watermelon, agriculture ourselves, or just like we brought that over with Africa. We brought that over, so which transformed into scatting, which was a part of jazz, bebop, old Negro spirituals, which eventually turned into country music. So yes, we essentially created the music, the popular music that we have here in America today, but we get no credit.
Yeah, we brought everything with us. You know what I'm saying? Just say that.
Right.
There was no America before us. Period.
That is dope. I like that quote. True Life says, question, why don't the FBAs take back hip hop from the white executives that run the record label? Shit.
I mean, it seems easy in theory, right?
Slavery.
It seems easy in theory. The problem with that is there's no code of ethics amongst the people with a general consensus. Even though FBA is a lineage of over 43 million people, we see even on this show here, not everybody has the same consensus on what FBA should be. We're talking about over 43 million people, so we can't just be like, oh, let's get an FBA task force to run up into Sony and take over, right? It has to be something that the people also support, because what tends to happen is that we always have some coonery going on where people are willing to sell their souls to get a deal to get themselves out the hood, and they'll do any and everything to get that deal, even if it includes not being authentic. So to answer that question, more people would have to support underground artists and real hip hop for that to work. But you'll take third. You the real hip hop. I'm sorry. I just
I'm gonna circle back. We got the YouTubers are on fire right now. Shout out to SLP Ground Sound Music. Salute. Thank you for coming through and dropping your 3 cents. When it comes to only key inventing and creating hip hop, one, the concept of the merry-go-round, as invented by Herc, symbolizes the idea of looping and repeating breaks over and over, which is true, which is what I just got through saying. So a lot of people try to discredit Kool Herc, but as you just heard him say, saying he was a Jamaican and they weren't accepting Jamaican culture, he had to adapt to what was going on in the Bronx. So he adapted to the Black Americans that were here, and this is what he did. He got his flavor and he was doing it. So, but again, I hate to differentiate. I get but again, he's still Black. He may not be a natural born U.S. citizen, but he's still Black to me. You know what I'm saying? And it still goes back to his credit. SLP says the technique is the first fundamental to the identity of hip-hop DJ. To fully appreciate the significance of Herc's merry-go-round, one must understand that they laid the foundation for breakdancing. Very true. Who is the primary supporters of hip-hop music financially? Ooh, I'm about to get into that, True Life. I'm about to get into that. I work music retail. Without both the merry-go-round and the breakers, hip-hop culture itself may not have emerged. That's very true. Now, to go back, who is the primary supporters of hip-hop music financially? I don't know what it is now, but I know like a few years back, the number one supporters or consumers of hip-hop music were Latino women and white women. You know what I'm saying? But primarily, if you're talking about gender, it's women, because they're the ones listening to the radios. They're the ones sitting up there going to the clubs and dancing or whatever, but they're the ones buying the records for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But they're the ones requesting stuff on radio. But, with that being said, you got labels who will sit up there and pay for ads. You know what I'm saying? About like, so you say if Drake drops a song, whatever, and they feel like it's a hot single, so they're going to put money behind the ad for radio. And so therefore, that's why you're hearing the same song, like you're hearing 15,000 times within an hour. You know what I'm saying? And so it's all about programming. So when they're doing that, when you're hearing it repeatedly, just like what you said, Quez, kind of like what Hitler said, if you're hearing it repeatedly, even if you think it's a dumb song at first, you hear it so much that you start to kind of maybe sing the hook, especially if it's a catchy hook. Or you start singing some of the words. Then you're actually, so why am I singing this dumbass song? Oh, it might be hot. So then you're actually going to go search for it on YouTube, or you might go buy the single, or you might go buy the album. But another thing is what we were doing, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the women were listening to back in the days, we were buying the records. You know what I'm saying? We're playing it. We're putting it on the mixtapes, the little mix CDs that we used to make, making it, get the radio, whatever. That's what we were doing. So whatever the women were dancing to in the club is what we were sitting up there and rocking to. We didn't necessarily go out and go support it, like as far as buying, unless it was somebody that we absolutely felt. But
and Caucasians.
And that's another thing too. So it's funny because a lot of especially NWA I give them a lot of credit because they were rebellious. They came in with the F the police, and they had the rebellious spirit and nature to where suburban America, it didn't become, gangster rap didn't become a problem until it started crossing over into the suburbs. When you had little Timmy talk about F the police and gangsta and dope man and whatever, then that's when it became a problem because they're living a different life that they're not subjected to that we know. You know what I'm saying? All NWA were doing was they were essentially reporters, reporting what they see, what they know, and it became cool. Gangster became cool to white suburb. And SLP is going off. I appreciate it. Hold on, let me.
Yeah. You could always click the link, SLP, because I would love to hear some of this revisionist history too, as well.
Hey, so SLP, so you're on YouTube. So if you go to my community, like go click on my face, go to community. If you're on the King Third page, click on community. I have the post where you see the flyer. You can click the link and you can come on and you can become a guest.
Thank you, Al. I was about to get there.
Al Forte or Quest, are these your people?
No, I don't know him.
Hey,
Stop doing every time somebody agree with me, like, are these your people?
No.
I don't
I'm
know
asking,
these people.
no, whether it's SLP, because like I said, YouTube's on fire right now. So Al Forte, the merry-go-round was a playlist of breaks, not the looping of the same break. Hurt couldn't cut or mix. He just played the records. Hey, I think whether he played it or not, hey, that's still dope though. I got something else. I got another clip.
Saying that Puerto Ricans weren't there at the beginning. So I'm trying to understand what's the beginning. I would say it's from when it started in 73 to when 79 when they started making records. Once it became commercial, everybody knew about it. Before that, there was a very small group of people in the city that were down with hip hop. So those are the pioneers, the people that made, but people were doing hip hop before records. So I'm not one of them. I was a spectator. When Cold Crush and Fearless and all of them was doing shows before records, that's the time that I would say is the original, the origin, and the formulation of hip hop. So during that time, there were Puerto Ricans, Tito, Chase. I just saw a video that said that Grandmaster Caz said that there was no Puerto Ricans in hip hop. His DJ was Puerto Rican, so. But now, mind you, it wasn't Puerto Rican culture. It was New York black culture. And us Puerto Ricans who were there, we were black. That's it. You know, it wasn't like we were coming out there with the, fucking guayaberas and shit, rhyming in Spanish. We was doing what the brothers was doing. That's it. We brothers too. So it wasn't Puerto Rican culture. We didn't come from Puerto Rico with that shit. We was here. And so I continued the culture that I learned, but the originators, the pioneers, Gold Crush, you know who they are, Treacherous 3, Crash Crew, those guys, Fantastic Five, Whipple Whip, Ruby D. These are all Puerto Ricans that were at the first 6 years of hip hop. So cut it out.
True life, I feel you. True life, I feel you.
Hey, true life. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Great show. I appreciate you, man. You're a contributor. We consider you part of the family. You know what I'm saying? So always tune in. We're here every Friday. Oh, matter of fact, special announcement. If you guys aren't doing anything, or Quez, if it's cool, we're gonna have an after party tomorrow. We could have an after party.
Yeah,
you looking out for the police? Okay.
No, I had to look at my calendar. I should be.
Oh man, see, he a busy man. He presidential.
I'm my life is structured, sir.
You're like, I have to see if I have time for you, nigga.
I mean, basically, is what I was trying to say in a nice way.
Right.
No, but hey, look, we appreciate SLP Ground Sound Music. We appreciate
I'm loving it. You blowing up the YouTube.
Yeah, we appreciate it. But I did want to say, like, nobody see, this is where the conversation went wrong last week, right? Because again, words matter. The way we word things matter. Nobody is saying that Caribbeans, that Puerto Ricans never contributed to hip hop. And I think that's where this conversation keeps going left.
Right.
Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying you weren't there. But when we talk about the creation of hip hop, there is clear and precise evidence. And even with the people that we're listening to, we just heard Kool Herc say it. We just heard it in the last clip that Third played it, right? This was Black American culture that we allowed you to participate in, right? Even if 73 is the date that you want to start it. But prior to that, this was Black American culture. Everyone has said that. And we keep glossing over that because we allowed y'all to participate. but everybody's participating in a culture that you should be showing more reverence and respect to because we allowed you to participate. That's been my problem. To me.
That was nicely put. I don't see why anybody would have a problem with what you said. Let's read because SLP, you've been going off, and you have a lot to say. Like I said, you go into the community, go into my community. I think that's what it's called. Go in the community on YouTube on King Third on my King Third page. Tap that link. Just making sure you got your camera on, you got your Wi-Fi popping. You know what I'm saying, and you can come down, you can speak. I definitely want to hear you. You know what I'm saying? It's all welcome. I don't know. You know, like you said, man. I didn't like what Fat Joe had to say about FBA because I was still trying to learn what the FBA was. Some of the rhetoric, you know, from what we've heard from some people, I can see why certain people would actually think that the FBA are kind of like reverse racist because they try to exclude people out of that. And I've heard time after time after time Puerto Ricans like, no, I'm black too. And then we've heard some people, no, you're not black. No, you're not black. It's 1870 census. And to me, I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. You know, and I'm not trying to disrespect. Like, no disrespect. So,
you know, conversations today.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I hope that we have. You know what I'm saying? But 1870, I mean, most people can't even trace their lineage back to census on the 1870 because of slavery. You know what I'm saying? Because records were getting smudged. You know what I'm saying? You're talking to a dude who actually does genealogy, and I've been searching my family records, trying to find certain things to find family relatives. So, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of to sit there and to smudge that a little bit, and then to even think about it like Puerto Rico itself, even though it's an island, it's its own country, it's still a U.S. territory. So, you know what I'm saying? So they came in, they're in New York along with Jamaicans, whatever. And so, yes, they definitely were a part of hip hop. But I have to agree with Quest on this one. Yeah, I don't know about the whole creation. No, there's no 50-50. You know what I'm saying? Not till later. I think that's what Crazy Legs said, right? No, Kid Capri. That's what Kid Capri said.
Yeah. So let me give you a little. Go ahead and read some comments, but I just want to clear up this FBA.
Yeah, excuse me. True Life says, yeah, definitely. True Life says, respect, bro. This TGE first FBA perspective I've heard that does not sound biased. Yeah, Quest is definitely not biased. He's gonna he feels what he feels, but he's gonna keep it real. He's gonna give it to you all around. So that's definitely true. True Life says definitely the creation of hip hop is all Black American culture. Now allowing us to participate is a stretch.
No, I apologize for my choice of words in that. You know
word.
That was a misnomer in how I presented it. But you're right. We didn't allow you to participate. That's yeah. I feel you there.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. That was kind of wild. Al Forte says Kool Herc hip hop started in 71. He also said he got jumped by Puerto Ricans and the 5% brothers had to save him and run them off. Man. You know, hey, if we can get Kool Herc on here, I would love to have him on here. Yeah. So when it comes to the Bronx and the rest of the NY between 1970 and 1980, pre-development of hip hop, I feel you. He said later is not creation, it's copying. I wouldn't necessarily say copying, but emulating. Even all hip hop does it. So the forefathers, the creators of hip hop, they're the ones who laid down the foundation as far as rapping. And anybody else who came after them was trying to emulate, but they're people who emulated within their own style. You know, they take a little bit of what they're doing, and then they, especially like the one person who I could say that was like, this is me being a little bit biased, you know, because again, we had, I call them the forefathers, which is LL Cool J, Run DMC, what was the Cool in the Gang, Grandmaster Caz, the hip, the hop, the hippie, the hibbit to the hip. I mean, the best student of that was Ice Cube. Ice Cube, LL Cool J. But Ice Cube took from them, he took from all of them, the Treacherous Three, he learned and studied, and then he created his own style. Then all of a sudden, people were starting to adapt to him, you know what I'm saying? Along with Cool G Rap, Schoolie D, you know what I'm saying? Ice-T, you know, and then, you know, and I have to give Ice Cube credit because he was the one who wrote Eazy-E's Boys in the Hood. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he created a new way of spitting, and then that translated to Scarface, you know, which then, you know, that laid a new foundation. But then you had the Tupacs, the Snoops, the Method Man, who else? Ludacris, who came down a little bit later, Redman, Busta Rhymes, you know, Biggie, Nas, you know, I can go on and on.
Why are you forgetting Tupac?
I said Tupac.
You did.
Oh,
yes,
man.
I said Tupac.
Did he, Quest?
Is she drunk?
Hey, look, I was too busy reading ground sound music.
I know I was too.
You know what I mean?
He got his percentages
I
up.
love
I want to see.
I love your enthusiasm, but I think your numbers are kind of off. Just based off of population during that time frame. So, you know what I mean? If you would, and this is where we get into the problem because of that last one. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we're a Caribbean island. It means that Caribbean descendants take the cake for creating hip hop. Therein lies the problem. Yeah, we keep saying, "Oh, why are FBAs being so divisive and so racist towards these other groups?" But this is kind of what I be talking about when I say that these things come along as being disingenuous, right? Just that quick, we were having a good conversation, ground sound music, and just that quick, you took it to now we majority created it. It's not even 50-50 no more. Now it's majority is Caribbean because Puerto Rican is a Caribbean island. So basically, majority of it was created outside of Black culture, and therein lies the problem, sir. How quickly that conversation has changed. This is what's wrong. But I did want to touch on what FBA consists of, and you know, I know people keep saying the census and they can trace themselves back and whoopty whoop. That census is just a bare basic requirement, right? If you can trace your lineage, and the reason why it's a bare basic requirement is because we know we didn't have massive immigration into the United States until, you know, the mid to late 1900s, right? So if you can trace your lineage at least back to that census, that lets it be known that one, you're not an immigrant, and two, you didn't transplant yourself over here. That's the only reason why the census is important, because it means that you've been here since the founding of America, or since they started documenting it, right? Because we know for a fact there wasn't large amounts of other nationalities and groups coming to America until, you know, late 50s and 60s of the 1900s. It wasn't a large migration of any of that, you know what I'm saying, of any groups in period. So that's why that matters to if FBA lineage when people ask that question.
Word. So yeah, because we definitely got to talk about that. So SLP says when it came to the Bronx between 60s and 80s between FBA and Puerto Ricans, the Rican were the majority. Evidence found in an article from the April 19th, 1976 New York Times newspaper front page. Al Forte says, how can playing Black music be Caribbean culture? That's very true. Because again, like we said, if we're talking about break beats and funk, James Brown, funk creators, we're talking about funk. So you had to have something to play, which was James Brown and funk. So it came from Black Americans. It was Black American culture. Whether we want to give DJ Kool Herc credit or not, he is playing a Black man, and he said it himself. It was a Black culture. I adapted to it, you know. So, there's that, you know. But here goes another clip right here from DJ Kid Capri. I played this last week, but here we go.
Music was already made. Funk music was made by James, right? 67, 68. So it was there. Herc took those records and brought it to the forefront. So that's why he's so iconic. You see what I'm saying? But those records were there. I got records, funk records from 1968, 69, 70, 67, and then the 67, you know. And he was the one that showed everybody what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, Spanish people were there. They were breakdancing. I don't know if I can't say if they was the ones that helped invent it. Can't say that. But what I can say is they were there when it was invented. They went through the same struggle as young black kids that didn't have a voice. They didn't have a voice.
I think that was beautifully put. As far as hip hop. Now we're about to get into a real conversation. Shout out to True Life for this one. He says True Life says the only issue with the FBAs is the disrespect of immigrants.
I don't know where this is happening.
If you come from the Caribbean in the 70s and the 80s, very young age, you had no choice but to assimilate. That is true. Now, Quest.
I know.
Quest.
That's what I was saying.
So to be real, to be fair, because even here on this very show last week, you not per se, and we can't, and let's go ahead and do a disclaimer. Tisha's not here to do it. You can't say everybody and generalize. So we're not saying all FBAs, not saying all Puerto Ricans, we're not saying all blacks. But there is a group, and there's some who do bring a bad name to the masses. And so even on this very show, and not shout out, because I don't think he was necessarily doing it to be disrespectful, but he was doing it to throw some shots because he felt shots were being thrown, and it was going vice versa. I forget the brother's name, but he was a cool dude.
Names aren't important. We talking about the points.
But he was divisive in his thing. Well, no, you're not like us. You're not like us, and this and that, and being dismissive of Puerto Ricans. And then we had a Puerto Rican dude on here who was saying, no, I'm one of y'all. Why are we doing divisive when we're all one? We're all Africa. And then yet and still, you're not like us. You're not like the
But said person also said my family didn't get whipped in our backs either. They said that in the show. So that's what I mean. We can't pick and choose and take a battlefront for a whole group of individuals based off the actions of a few, right? So I don't know who you're listening to or who you arguing with online, but I noticed and tended to see, just from what my algorithm shows me, there's a constant back and forth. And what may not be disrespectful to you, right, may be disrespectful to someone else. And you may not consider it disrespectful, but yet and still it is. Like, you may not have thought it was disrespectful to say that if Puerto Ricans are considered Caribbeans, then that means we created majority of the hip hop. But to me, that's very offensive when everyone from the Bronx specifically and the Puerto Ricans from the Bronx specifically are saying that they emulated black culture. So for you to still say that is offensive to me. But I'm not going to say, oh, all Puerto Ricans are bad because, you know what I'm saying, Ground Sound Music said that y'all created a majority of hip hop right in the front of all the information that was placed in front of him. So, that's what I mean by conversations and words matter.
No doubt.
Hold on, let me get the kids real quick. The queen sleep. Give me just a second. I'm listening though.
Bet. So when Quest comes back, so what I was trying to say essentially was that, yeah, there are some who come from this divisiveness standpoint. And so with that, Joe was saying, even in that clip about extremists in the group, every group has definitely some extremists. And, so my thing was I wanted to have Quez on here. I wanted to have some people who were FBA, like his queen and the brother from last week. So I wanted to ask the question, to pose the question, are FBAs considered reverse racist? And, who's to say who's black and who's not? Because, again, even with me, upon further research, I don't know if I even put up the clip, but with Puerto Ricans, I'm saying, I looked up light-skinned or white-looking Puerto Ricans, and I looked up their ancestry test. And I wanted to see, saying the African percentages that they have in them. And, majority of Puerto Ricans are going to have like the The European that's going to be the majority. The next big one is going to be African, which is at 20%, and then Taino Indian, which or Native American, excuse me, is going to be the next, which is I think we're at like 12%. And this is just like estimates, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, whether it's Puerto Rican, Caribbean, not Caribbean, but Dominican, Jamaican, whatever, this all stems back to Africa. And I say this to say because again, even when we were talking about where the essential technique of rapping came from, it came from Africa. You know what I'm saying? We brought this over. And just because certain people were dropped off first, does that make them less, relevant or less cool or less down, whatever? I don't understand the whole standpoint of the I don't understand like the standpoint of some. I can't say for all, but for some. For me, it doesn't make sense. I'd rather be inclusive into that, But to Quez's credit, Quez will say that, some people will come over here, like, some Africans, and they'll be like, well, you're lazy, African Americans, whatever, but they take from our culture, but they expect for us to just get it and put it up our bootstraps, but they don't know our struggle. They don't know that, that no matter where you came from within the Americas, the North Americas, that, especially, well, I say in the U.S., we had slave masters that made it their point to cut Black people off from their lineage and their heritage. This is the reason why we're called Black here in America, because some people don't even want to know where they come. They don't know where they come from within Africa as far as countries. So the people from Puerto Rico can call themselves Puerto Ricans because they know that their family essentially migrated or came from Puerto Rico. Same thing with Jamaicans. Now, the Blacks here in America who have been here since the inception of slavery, which is like with 1619, maybe even like the 1500s, but I think slavery essentially started with 1619. A lot of us don't know, unless, some Blacks had oral culture or tradition that was passed down from generation to generation, but some was wiped out. Now we're in a generation where a lot of people don't really necessarily care. They'll call themselves, well, I'm the realest nigga, I'm this and that. No. They don't understand that they come from greatness. They don't even want to know about Africa. They don't even care to know about Africa. So for some to sit up there and to say like, hey, well, we're going to trace it back to the 1870s. You stop at a standpoint to where, hey, this is 5 years, after Civil War, had ended, where Black people can actually become on the census, to where you take this standpoint to say, hey, well, I'm a fundamental Black or foundational Black American. I mean, you take pride in that, but a lot of people don't even want to research further than that to find out where they come from. To sit up there and to not call themselves Black no more. True Life says, Peter Tosh, no matter where you come from, as long as you're a Black man, you're an African. This was the mentality of Caribbeans since the 60s. Salute. Gemini Lounge says it really wasn't as many Puerto Ricans as you think. I would say less than 5%. And that's Gemini Lounge. SLP Ground Sound Music. American culture is all American culture, not just FBA culture. I'm gonna have to slightly disagree with you on that one. African American culture is definitely a part of American culture, because again, if you want to keep it real, the country was definitely built upon our backs. And then, a shout out to Godfrey. I want to get him on the show, but he went off. Mind you, I think he's either half Nigerian or full Nigerian. No, he's born from Nigerian parents, but he was born in Chicago, somewhere in the Midwest. But he was going off. You know how many Black inventors, Black air conditioner, the cell phone, the GPS, he was going off. And people come in and they create this and then they want to steal and not give credit. Do you know what Black Americans have to go through? I think he came from a standpoint his parents may not understand, but he understands because he was the first generation that was born here and he got to see it. He got the experience. When police pull you over, they're not asking, hey, are you Nigerian Black, or are you Puerto Rican Black, or are you Dominican Black, or are you Chicago Black? You a Black.
I mean, we've been making that a valid point. And to say this is where my problem comes from every time. We didn't separate ourselves from you. You guys did that. You guys made it a point to say, oh, I'm not an American Black, I'm Puerto Rican. I'm not Black like you, I'm Jamaican, I'm Haitian, I'm Ghanaian. We didn't say, hey, you not Black, You guys said that. we didn't have a congressional Black Caucus meeting saying, hey, if you weren't born in America, you're not really Black. No, you guys started making those distinctions because you thought it would get you somewhere in the society until you realized that they didn't like your Black ass neither. You know what I'm saying? Whether you was a lighter skinned Black or a blacker Black. And Miss Kira, they're not going to watch Hidden Colors because Tariq Nasheed made it, even though it's a great series. But shouts out to you, my sister. Hidden Colors is a great documentary series, but they're not going to watch it because Tariq Nasheed made it.
No, I'm going to watch it. Like I said, I had to do research. I did research in part because of my brother, Mr. Quez over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a fan of Tariq Nasheed. You know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and state that 100%. But there's some things that he said where I can agree with and I can see his standpoint. And there's some valid points. Do I agree with it all? Nah. But I'll still watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'll still give it a go. You know, and I suggest everybody should, which is the point of this whole show, is because you're here to get different perspective. Oh, free promotion. That kind of game. Let me stop.
Just saying.
He ain't paying no promo on here.
We watch around here, Kira. I see you. That's my other sister out there. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you.
True Life. I'm just True Life says Blacks in America are American. You're not just the majority in the country. This is the only difference between Black American and Caribbean.
Yeah, I'm foundational Black American. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
You take pride in that. You know, and what? Again, it's complicated. You know what I'm saying? To be real with you, to be my personal feeling, this is my personal feeling. My personal opinion or whatever, we are American by default. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who are white counterparts, you know what I'm saying, who can trace their lineage back to Ireland. Even I'm telling on myself, even I can, because I do my ancestry, I do my genealogy. I can trace my white bloodline to Ireland and England. You know, we as Blacks barely can do that as our own. So again, I say that to say there were people who came over here willingly, and there are people who came over here forcibly. You know what I'm saying? So we are Black by default, but at the end of the day, you say that we're American, but do we get treated like American citizens? When you sit up there and have hold up. I'm on my rant. Because again, we didn't get basic human we didn't get basic civil rights until 1964, 1965, and then 1968. There's still things that we have to fight for here in America. They just passed tried to pass the anti-lynching bill in 2024, 2023, or whatever it was they tried to. But again, we're talking about the 2020s, and we're talking about lynching.
Hair also.
Huh?
The hair. Just had to throw that in.
Well, you know, we get dinged. We get dinged because of, you know, locks, or we have to wear a hair certain way. If it's not the traditional, fundamental, American apple pie cookie cut, you know, thing, then you get dinged. If you're not blonde hair, blue eyed, then you're not considered like a beauty or a true American. If you're not white,
ask a question?
If you're not white, you're not considered an American. But go ahead.
Can I ask a question to play advocacy? And shouts out to Kira and your husband, because he's a real one. But why do we never have to have this conversation with any of these other groups, like Jamaicans, like Puerto Ricans? Nobody ever tells them, you're not really Puerto Rican, you're from Africa. You're not really Jamaican, you from Africa. We're the only ones who have to be cookie cutter Africans, even though we can't trace it, just like they can't. We got to be generic Africans, right? Even though a majority of the Africans that come over here don't like us, but we should be generic Africans. Nobody says that to the Puerto Ricans. Nobody says it to the Haitians, even though we all got to these places.
Yeah, but white Americans
don't exact way.
But white Americans don't like you. So, I mean,
I don't care, but I'm American, just like they're Jamaican, just like they're Puerto Rican. There's white people there's white people in Africa right now saying they African. And we know damn well they Dutch.
Africa.
They don't like the Africans. You know what I'm saying? So what are we saying? I don't care if
rights activists.
I'm here.
He says, "You have Caucasian ancestry, brother. Why do you pretend to be black, knowing that genetically you're a mulatto? Claim your heritage."
What?
I don't know who mulatto rights activist is, but I don't necessarily know if I qualify to be mulatto. No disrespect
you got the percentage. You know what I'm saying? You could. You might not look it, but you down there.
Well, here's the thing, though. So if we're being,
I didn't say Caribbeans and Africans. I said
shut
majority
the
of
fuck up.
Africans. No, I'm talking to true life. You know what I'm saying? Because that's
I
what
know.
saying. The comments be going crazy, and that's not what I said.
They live tonight. He says, True Life says, I'm Grenadian by default. Also, I feel you. Again, we're in the same plight. We're in the same plight.
Right.
So back to mulatto. I don't know if I qualify as mulatto per se, because both my parents are black. All four of my grandparents are black. All four of my great-grandparents are black. It's when we get into the greats that's where it starts to kind of get murky. You know what I'm saying? So,
is it
and if we're talking
clearer.
Hey, Father Funk you.
I cracked myself up.
Father Funk you. You know what I'm saying? Because then we're talking about SAN. I can't necessarily say that the RA.
Yeah, we know what you mean.
So on my census, I saw that one of my great grandparents was a black woman who was born in 1851, and she had a baby in 1864 by a white man who was technically older than her. So if we're talking about 1864, we all know that slavery was still around in 1864. So my relative was born into slavery. So again, if we're talking about white ancestry, I don't necessarily know if I would be considered a mulatto, but because we're talking about the 1800s. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of like by default, which is again, Black Americans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, a lot of us, especially the Puerto Ricans, saying like their admixture is essentially equivalent to us. We have the same thing, except for they may have more European in them than we do, but essentially it's Native American, European, and African. That's what they're made of because of the intermixing, because of the sleeping with this person. This is what your genetic makeup is. The only people who are 100% are the ones who come from Africa.
That's it. But I do want to get back to True Life, because I did not say Caribbeans and Africans. I said a majority of the Africans that they send over here do not like us, and they're told not to associate with us. That's what I was saying. I never said anything about Caribbeans. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying we should all be generic Africans then. If that's the story we're gonna keep telling us in America.
But my argument to some of you FBAs is that you go further to do the research. Well, I have my 1870 census. That makes me a foundational Black American. I'm here because I'm American. Mm-hmm. But then you don't want to actually do the full research to actually find out where your actual lineage comes from within Africa. That's my point.
So my point is, why aren't we making that a pejorative for everyone? Yeah, you only saying it to us, and I see you keep getting hung up on this census. Sir, I told you that is just a basic requirement to show that you did not immigrate to America. You were one of the originators who built the foundation.
Why do I need a general requirement to show that I'm a Black American? That's fucking stupid.
Because there's this thing where people are imitating us, right? Like if you look at the Congressional Black Caucus, right? You would think that would be made up of Black individuals who have lineage to this country. Only 13 members of the 53 members of the Congressional Black Caucus are Black Americans. And then we wonder why we can't get things done specifically for Black Americans. Those are my problems when we talk about this, right? I don't have no problem with Caribbeans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Dominicans, none of them, right? I just don't want you guys to represent me in a sense when it comes down to getting resources and interfere in that regard, just like I won't go to your homeland and interfere and represent you in that regard. That's all I'm saying. Put some respect on it. That's all I've ever said. And I don't think that's divisive. Because if I went over to Puerto Rico, y'all wouldn't let me become the president just because I learned to speak Spanish and I'm black like you. You wouldn't let me do it. Just being honest. Now, who wants to argue that one?
So you have a problem. So your problem would be because you can't go to Puerto Rico to do the same thing, but if they come over here, so is it?
Your listening skills are fucked up, Third.
No. I'm asking a question.
My problem isn't that I can't go to Puerto Rico and do it. I said my problem is that there are people here representing us that don't have our best interests in mind. Because when the resources get passed around, we're left holding an empty bag because nobody can ever do anything specifically for black people, but they turn around and do things specifically for other cultures and other people. That's my problem.
Okay. I can give you that. True Life says these are talking points that Tariq Nasheed you use to push his agenda. When we come to America, we have love and respect for Americans. Then we get met with disrespect. Disrespect. That's not
how are we disrespecting y'all? I don't think that's true, but okay. Go ahead. I'm gonna be quiet.
That's not all. That's definitely not all. Al Forte says the African American community has never benefited from opening our door or culture to immigrants.
I'm just saying, man.
Mulatto rights activist says El Forte, the future generations of your family will be mulattoos. What is up with you in this mulatto stuff, bro? Like,
that boy wants some mixed breeds, don't they? What's going on?
That's what I know. I read the name, mulatto rights activist. So he's pushing this from mulatto agenda of people being half breeds. I don't understand it. The only mulatto that I know is Big Lotto, who drops dope music. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's only one I know. SLP says USA has thousands of cultures and subcultures. Like, for example, if a black man who is from New York goes to Kentucky, black guy from Kentucky will know he is from New York right away. Which is, I'm not sure where you're getting at, but you're right because of dialect. You know, I can definitely tell. Like we had Navaja on here. Yo, son, yo, no. You can totally tell he's from New York. Or he's been around the New York culture. You can totally tell when you hear from me and Quez how we talk. We from Cali, you know what I'm saying? But we can go down south. They have a whole different lingo and dialect. It's where you go within the United States where you can tell where somebody's kind of from. SLP says once New York start talking and his ways and how he dressed and what that means, it means the black guy from Kentucky. Yeah, it's two different cultures. You're right, but at the end of the day, especially when it comes to hip hop, like I said on the show last week, you know, Navaja was from New York, you know, saying Bronx, whatever. He was the first dude to actually put me into the studio, put me on stage. I was his hype man for a few years. I learned, you know, saying what it meant to be a hype man and learned some of the essence of hip hop from that cat. You know what I'm saying? So I was learning a lot. I was learning a lot of hip hop from a lot of Puerto Ricans who were from New York. And then I actually had some black friends from New York. So I've learned a lot from New York. So you can definitely tell from the way that they dress, from the way that they walk, certain things and mannerisms that they do. They're definitely not Cali. Now, when you come out to California, you know what I'm saying? We can tell you about the Chuck Taylors. We can tell you about the what you call. We have our way. We dress the khakis. You know what I'm saying? At one point in time, especially during the 80s, there was the Jerry curl. We tell you about hair things, certain things. We have a car culture out here. We have a gang culture out here. We have so many different things that is California. Well, I'll say Southern California because even Northern California, they got their own little style. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a matter of what we take and what we make, and we make it our own.
Can I break this down very simply? Because I don't want to keep running with this double narrative, right? Every time I say something, it turns into a pejorative of me attacking some other culture, right? Just like you individuals protect and safeguard your culture, I should be able to do the same without it offending you. I don't know where people come with this notion that we got to be the only ones to share everything. This is the problem, right? I have no problem with Haitians, Jamaicans, and I don't know of all these situations where you guys are being disrespected because to be quite frank and to be quite honest with you, every neighborhood, no matter whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, or down south, y'all share them with us. So where does this disrespect come from when we've been nothing but community? So that projection to me is asinine, to be honest, right? We to keep throwing this pejorative out there like we just disrespected y'all since y'all got here is quite blatantly bullshit. Because when we were fighting to get you individuals over here, we were fighting it with the intention that you guys were going to come and help pad the stats so that we could fight off white supremacy and the disrespect that was coming from the dominant society. But you guys didn't come over in that regard. And nobody's disrespecting you. If me saying that you didn't create something that you didn't create is disrespect, then I don't know what else to tell y'all. That I don't see how that turned. And when we tell the truth, it turns into being disrespect. Because what is that? You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to argue that fact. If I say you guys didn't create something and you said, well, I was there watching you, and so therefore I helped create it, and I said, well, that's not the same thing. And that's disrespect? Is that disrespect, or is it more disrespectful to try to lie your way into a situation and take over the narrative that you did it 50-50, even though all the point that didn't happen?
No doubt. Good
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody. I just want to have an honest conversation.
So I'm gonna read this real quick. Nobody says you have to share it. However, you don't have to disrespect others in order to uphold your own. I don't think Quez does that. There's definitely some that do, but you can't necessarily equate that to all FBA. But some do, and there ain't no lie. We're just not even gonna sugarcoat that shit. They do. You know,
I haven't disrespected anybody tonight.
You haven't.
I don't.
You haven't.
If I have, y'all please run it back and put it down there, because
not in my opinion. But there's been some who have been blatantly disrespectful. There's been some who have been blatantly disrespectful, and they've been assholes. So let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
SLP said not all Black culture are the same culture, just like not all Latino cultures are the same culture. Word, that's Absolutely. What I'm saying. I mean, Latinos. I mean, you got Mexicans, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Panamanians, you got Dominicans, you got, there's different cultures, different things. You know what I'm saying? But at the essence of it, what is the one common denominator? And that's the Spanish language. I mean, it's just like, again, when you come to America, the common denominator for us Black Americans is English. It may be different dialects or how we say things, but it's just different culture, but it's still all equates to the same thing. Well, I'm going to get to that, Miss Jess. Thank you.
I'm laughing at Kira because
we don't take it personally. I'm not saying you disrespect. Oh, yeah. So he wouldn't say, True Life wouldn't saying you.
Okay.
Kira says, people don't always like or appreciate the truth, Quez. Example, the truth is Black is beautiful. The lie to tell is we are all subhuman. They get Botox, tan, BBLs, etc., etc.
Exactly.
Well, I said it, so there's this cat that I know that, I work around, whatever. And, he did his ancestry. He's Mexican American, and he has actually like 5% Black. So he had the nerve to say to me, well, hey, since we all come from Africa, I can say the N-word. I said, you get your tail beat. Why would you want to say the N-word? Why do you think that you can? You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, and I said it too, I'm gonna say everybody wants to be Black till it's time to be Black. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's time to actually face the police, fight for anti-lynching, get whatever. Then nobody wants to show up and be Black then, but they want to be Black because you watch a Temptations movie, you watch the Juice, Baby Boy, you know what I'm saying, Boys in the Hood. You watch all these ghetto movies, whatever, and then all of a sudden you want to equate that to being Black, because Black is cool. So the one thing I will say, in regards to the FBAs, and you're going to salute me to this, we set the foundation of cool. Everybody wants to emulate us because we set the foundation of what is cool. We set the temperature. If we say, hey, Beyonce's dope, and we push her to the forefront, then everybody else wants to jump aboard. If we're rocking, hoodies with with our faces on it, whatever, and we think it's cool, then the next thing suburbs are gonna pull it. If we rocking our own merch, then they're gonna try to pull it. They always do that, but never want to give us the credit. But when it's time to actually fight for actual Black human rights or Black things in America, then all of a sudden they disperse. No, they pull the Scooby-Doo. I don't know. So that's my whole point. Everybody wants to be a Kanigga until it's time to be a Kanigga.
Great job, Paul Mooney. Appreciate that.
SLP says, not all foundational Black Americans have the same culture, just like all Latinos have their own culture. I feel you. True Life says, I'm speaking from the perspective of a Caribbean youth coming to America at 10 years old in 1982. Okay. Speak on it. Al Forte says, Tether's confused, divisive with the truth. He's definitely an FBA.
What the
No, I'm just thinking, I never knew what the fuck a tether was until I heard this shit with the FBA. The only thing I knew about tether was tetherball that we used to play back in elementary. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? All this new shit, these new lingos and motherfuckers coming up with shit.
Yeah.
Damn. Kira says, facts. Shout out to her. She has a dope book. You know what I'm saying? Drop the name of the book in the comments, Kira, so we can plug it.
I'll do you one better, Kira. Where's that? I got it somewhere.
I got mines too. Real quick, I got some quick promo before we dig back in. I'm gonna shout out my brother Quez.
Do you think about me? Do you think about me? Do you think about me?
All right, real quick, before we plug Kira, I gotta plug Sugar Express by Jess, which is right here. You know what I'm saying? This is the half black, half Asian girl looking sitting right here, the short one.
I'm not half Asian. I'm not half Asian. Thank
the shade.
But again,
I have a sprinkle.
But
just a little
Valentine's Day is coming up, you know what I'm saying? So fellas, if you want to do something nice for your lady, hit up Sugar Express by Jess. If you're in the Inland Empire, LA area, you know, get her gift baskets and gift cakes that she's doing. Surprise the lady with some chocolate covered strawberries, some roses, you know, whatever she puts into the essence of that. Make sure you get that and support your lady for Valentine's. But also, so yeah, Kira's book right here is called The Inconquerable Triumph Over Trauma. Second book coming soon. Hey, go ahead, Kira.
Bro,
that's what the book looks like right there. Get it on Amazon or hit her up right here. And if you're on Facebook, just hit her up in the inbox. But it's a very good book. I got it. I had to move, so I don't necessarily have it on my coffee table just yet, but I will.
Shouts out to the brothers who read. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's what we do.
Shouts out to us. You know what I'm saying? Us brothers that think that reading books is important.
I love reading. You know, shout out to my grandma, R.I.P. Man, I miss her to this day, but she made us read encyclopedias. You know what I'm saying, like for fun.
Why?
So Al Forte says 5% just means some black guy passed on his great grandma.
What the fuck?
What?
What is that?
Cultural appropriation at its finest, you know. And Al Forte said, like I said, copycats. This is what I meant. Oh, I guess they're responding when I was saying, like, everybody wants to be a Kanigga, so it's time to be a Kanigga. Oh, 5%. He was talking about, he's stupid for that.
Oh,
I get it now. True life. The only truth is acknowledging that your lineage started in America.
The truth is acknowledging that our lineage started America. That started in.
Yeah, it started in America. I give you that.
That part.
I mean, because what we're gonna do, I want to do another one. You know, we'll have an ancestry thing where we'll read our updated results, what we found out about, you know, our looking into our family trees, going through census reports, seeing what we found and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I found my African relatives. So if I want to be technical, I don't even necessarily have to say I'm a Black American. I know, but even within that being said, because we're in America and we were brought over here, the tribes and different cultures and different people within the countries of Africa intermix because we had no choice. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I know that I got cousins in Nigeria, got cousins in Cameroon, I got cousins in Ghana, I got cousins that came from Liberia. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I have a first generation cousin who came over here now that was born here. Both of her parents were from Nigeria and from Liberia, but out here in the Inland Empire, and this is one of my fifth cousins. You know what I'm saying? Straight 100% African. So again, if we're talking about, our finding and tracing our roots, then let's do it for real. And let's not just stop at 1870. I know what you said, Quez. I know it's just a prerequisite, to get into this whole, this group, this, to be a part of something, but hey, I can do a step further and go further back to 1870. So y'all can kiss my foundationally Black African ass.
All righty. Way to sum that up.
Yeah.
Hey, True Life. I'm gonna look for that book. I'm not sure if I have it, but I'll look into it. If not, I appreciate the recommendation. I definitely appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, definitely. The falsification of African consciousness.
Wilson books, so that's why I said that.
Bet. Hey, shout out to True Life. Shout out to Al Forte. Shout out to SL. I want to make sure I get this SLP Ground Sound Music. Shout out to Kira Fields. The YouTube family has definitely been lighting up the comments, you know what I'm saying, and funking up the algorithm. I love y'all for this. We're here every Friday, 6 o'clock, Cali time, 9 o'clock, East Coast time, So make sure you tap in, make sure you hit that notification button.
And don't come back every week looking for this argument, because this is not what we do. We just took time out of our busy schedules to address this with the people because we felt it was important. But don't come back every week thinking we finna have an FBA versus everybody, you know what I'm saying, type show.
Hey, I'm with it.
I'm
about to come with my results. I'm about to come with my results. I'm about to come with my 1870 census records and everything.
I don't have the energy, sir. I said what the funk I said.
Hey.
Ain't that your famous line? I said what the funk I said.
You FBA, cuz. You FBA, cuz. You know what I'm saying? So
that's it. That's the point. You know what I'm saying? It's not an argument to be had. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What if I can trace your roots further than the 1870s, Quez?
I appreciate it. And
what if I can dig and find what tribe you actually come from?
I'm still gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? It's great. You know what I mean? I'm not advocating for anybody to stop at the census. I'm please do. Find out as much information as you can about yourself. But we are the foundation of America, just for anybody who has a discrepancy and thinks that we shouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, I'm not moving back to Africa. I'm gonna stay right here in America and build my dream. That's how I feel.
No, you should, to each its own.
Yeah. But I'll take one of your certificates. So call your cousins and tell them to send my Prince robe. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't think you're like us. I don't think you're Prince like us.
Look. Oh boy, how quick, boy.
How quick the tables would turn, my nigga. How quick the tables could turn. You tried to pull that on me, but I got my documentation that shows that I'm from a different era than you.
Shout out to this, man. I was reading too. You know what I'm saying? You can see I got my pages folded, all that good stuff. Good stuff, sis. Hey, let's close this show on out, man. You know what I'm saying?
I read the whole book in one day.
In the snow. You know what I'm saying? Before it gets too late.
you just mad because you're not like me.
I definitely am. You know what I'm saying? I'm so bad I'm blacker than you. You know, I don't know why.
Albert says, I'm a first gen hip hopper who isn't going to let individuals who were not there speak on who created it. Well, I feel you because I'm hip hop myself. I'm a hip hop artist. For those who don't know me, my name is 3R Degree. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hip hop. I love hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It helped save my life. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that we're not going to let Fat Joe do, and I love Fat Joe, but we're not going to let him like recreate and rewrite history. Nah, bro, I don't think it was 50-50. Y'all definitely played a part a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? Was parts of creation of it. Again, give credit to where it's due. I'm gonna say James Brown. I'm being biased because James Brown was just a musical genius and ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? But James Brown birthed hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And then the beboppers and the doo-woppers before, the scatters, the jazz, the griots that came from Africa, that all came from Africa. You know what I'm saying? It came from black. You know what I'm saying? So yes, definitely Puerto Ricans, you are definitely a part of us, but you did not create that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? So I love hip hop.
Hey, shouts out. Nothing but respect, you guys, man. It's been a wonderful Friday.
Enough respect, True Life. So again, hit the subscribe, hit the notification, hit the share button, share this on with your feed. For the Facebookers, we love you because you guys definitely rebroadcast. For the YouTubers, you definitely go back and rewatch this. So we love y'all. But this has been a real one. This is where we got to end the show. We talk about different topics on Drop Your 3 Cent. And that's the beautiful thing is that you can come drop your thoughts, views, and opinions, and those are those of yours own. And we can respect it and we can learn from each other. We created a community of a safe space where we can actually learn and grow together. And this is where we support and we network together and we build together. As you can see, one of my key words in this whole component is together. So let's do this together. So I thank you. I thank you for the support. I thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back. You know what I'm saying? Make sure we talk about any and everything and however you feel about it, it's how you feel about it and you can drop it. That's what we do. So make sure you guys go support those who support you, pour into those who, pour into you, change your mindset going into 2025. You know what I'm saying? You want to become a millionaire, you're going to achieve that. Start believing it. Start really, really believing it and praying to God, and you're going to achieve that. If you want success, create and pour into those who pour into you. Create a team that will help you achieve that dream, and y'all can eat together. You know what I'm saying? So
That's
much
it.
love. I love you all. Shout out to everybody who supported, and we will see you next week.
Hey, real quick. Hey, just to follow up my brother. Speak what you see until you see what you said, man. All 2025. Let's get it.
That's a shirt.
That's
and on
definitely
that note,
a shirt.
On that note, we're gonna drop the mic. We're gonna see y'all later, and we're gonna say peace.